Hello students, welcome back to the acid, base and salt chapter. First we will see the phenolphthalein and methyl orange test, and then we will move to the properties of acid. Acid, bases and salt. So to identify the given substance, whether it is acidic, basic or neutral in nature, as I told you, one chemical is used and that chemical is called indicator. So in the last video already I explained you the role of litmus, methyl orange and phenolphthalein, but once again I am explaining in this. So indicator. So first indicator, as I told you, litmus indicator. Litmus again, it's a natural indicator obtained from the plant lichen. So litmus solution, or it can be used in the form of litmus paper. Fine. So what happened when in acid? When in acidic solution, if you are going to dip a litmus paper, when we are going to dip litmus paper in acidic solution, then litmus paper turns red. In acidic solution, it turns red. And when it is dipped in basic solution, then it turns blue. It turns blue. So remember, this is the test for the litmus solution. So same is the result for litmus solution also. The difference is that in case of the litmus solution, we are adding few drops of litmus solution to acidic solution. Then that solution turns red. And few drops of litmus solution, if you are adding to the base, it turns blue. Now the next artificial indicator is the phenolphthalein or methyl orange. So phenolphthalein, when few drops of the phenolphthalein added to acid, it becomes colorless. It becomes colorless. No color is produced. But when phenolphthalein is added to base, then it turns pink. When phenolphthalein is added to base, it turns pink. Okay. Now methyl orange. Methyl orange again, it's a synthetic indicator, artificial indicator. So when few drops of methyl orange added to acidic solution, it turns red. And when it is added to base, it turns yellow. It turns yellow. So remember, this is the test for the acid and bases. Let's listen to the properties of acid. So properties of the acid. First property, sour to taste. Action on litmus, just now we have seen. Acid turn blue, litmus red. Action of methyl orange and phenolphthalein also we have seen. And now next one is the corrosive in nature. Corrosive in nature means it is very harmful. If it falls on skin, it produces burning sensation. And corrosive in nature means it can damage the living tissue also. And if it falls on cotton cloth, so it produces holes on the cloth also. It can burn the skin also, damage cell and the delicate parts of the body, especially the eyes and all that. So that is why whenever we are handling acids in the laboratory, we have to be very much careful with the acid. Okay. So now let's listen to the chemical properties of the acid. So first chemical property of the acid is reaction with metals. Many metals, they are very reactive in nature, and when they are exposed to the acid, what happens? So for this, a small activity is there. So here the one test tube is there. In this test tube, dilute H2SO4 is taken. H2SO4 sulfuric acid. Okay? And now to this sulfuric acid, zinc metal, piece of zinc metal is added to this sulfuric acid. So as soon as the zinc metal is added to the sulfuric acid, what happens? Some colorless gas comes out. Colorless gas comes out and brisk effervescence of that gas. So that bubbles comes out. The mouth of the test tube is closed and one outlet is there. Through this tube, that colorless gas comes out, and that colorless gas is passed through soap solution. It is passed through soap solution. So because of this gas, soap bubbles are formed. Soap bubbles are formed. So in order to check that the given evolved gas is, which gas is there? So this near to this soap bubble, what lighted matchstick or candle we can bring near to this. So what happened? This soap bubble burns with pop sound. It burns with pop sound. This proves that the coming out evolved gas is hydrogen gas. So let's see the reaction what happened in this case. So zinc metal is added to sulfuric acid, that is H2SO4. It forms ZnSO4 and hydrogen gas is evolved. So that is why that gas burns with pop sound. In place of sulfuric acid we can take HCl also. So zinc when dropped to hydrochloric acid, it forms zinc chloride and hydrogen gas. So this is the reaction of the acid with the metal. When metal reacts with strong acid, it has a property that it liberates a hydrogen gas, and we can test the coming out gas with the help of matchstick by burning that gas, and this gas burns with pop sound. Let's see the reactivity of other metals with the acid. So in the last activity we have seen the reactivity of zinc with acid. So let's compare the reactivity of the magnesium. So when magnesium is dropped in the solution of hydrochloric acid, hydrogen gas is evolved. So this evolution of the hydrogen gas is very vigorous. Means very fast. Okay, it is very vigorous. Then next, when zinc is added to the hydrochloric acid, here also hydrogen gas is given out, evolved I can say, but that gas is not so vigorous as compared to what? As compared to magnesium. It is very vigorous in nature. It is less vigorous as compared to magnesium. Then when iron is dropped to hydrochloric acid, so iron also liberates hydrogen gas, but this reaction is very slow. This reaction is very slow reaction. Evolution of hydrogen gas with iron is slow. And when copper is added to HCl, so that no reaction take place when copper metal is dropped in hydrochloric acid. So copper is not reactive with acid. So here we can compare the reactivity of different metal, that magnesium is most reactive, then zinc, and zinc is more reactive than iron, and iron is more reactive than copper. So all the reactive metals, they liberate hydrogen gas from the acid. Next chemical property of acid is reaction of acid with metal carbonates and bicarbonates. So acid we have taken in this example sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid is H2SO4. H2SO4 reacts with sodium carbonate. Na2CO3 is sodium carbonate. So when it reacts with dilute or concentrated sulfuric acid, the reaction is like this. It forms Na2SO4, that is sodium sulfate, and brisk effervescence of colorless bubbles comes out. Gas comes out, and that gas is carbon dioxide, CO2, and formation of the water. In the next step, I have taken sulfuric acid, same. Sulfuric acid reacts with sodium hydrogen carbonate, or it is also known as sodium bicarbonate. It reacts with sulfuric acid. It forms same sodium sulfate, carbon dioxide and water. See that you have to balance the reaction. You have to balance the reaction. In the first chapter already we have studied in the 10th class how to balance the chemical reaction. So here also the evaluation of carbon dioxide gas take place. And next carbonate we have taken calcium carbonate CaCO3, and the acid I have changed here, that is dilute HCl. Okay, reaction with dilute HCl, it forms calcium chloride CaCl2. Again carbon dioxide gas is evolved in this case, and HCl is formed. So what is common in all these reactions, when the acids it reacts with carbonate or bicarbonate, the common thing is that evolution of brisk effervescence of the gas, and that gas is carbon dioxide gas. This is the important property, that evolution of CO2 gas takes place. So how to check the gas coming out is CO2 gas? For this one experiment is there. So see this diagram. In this diagram, test tube is there. In this test tube, calcium carbonate we have taken, and through this distal funnel, dilute HCl is added. Fine. So when the dilute HCl is added to the solution of calcium carbonate, then bubbles of colorless gas comes out. With the brisk effervescence, gas comes out. Through this outlet, this gas is passed through a test tube containing CaOH whole twice. CaOH whole twice is calcium hydroxide. It is also called lime water. So what happened? This lime water or CaOH whole twice, calcium hydroxide, is transparent liquid like water. It's transparent liquid like water. So when gas is passed through this, after few minutes you will observe that this white color or transparent water converted into white color solution, and that white color solution is due to the formation of calcium carbonate. So what type of the reaction take place in this? That calcium hydroxide is lime water. Lime water, through the lime water, carbon dioxide gas is passed. So this carbon dioxide gas reacts with calcium hydroxide. It forms milkiness in this test tube, and this milkiness appearance is due to the formation of calcium carbonate, that is CaCO3 and water. So this is the test to test whether the gas coming out is CO2 or not. So this is all about the reaction of the acid with metal carbonates and bicarbonates. I told you that when CO2 gas is passed through lime water, it turns milky. Okay, and the formula of that milkiness is calcium carbonate. So now see, in this reaction what happened, that in the same calcium hydroxide, if you are passing the carbon dioxide gas in excess. So what happened? This is the milkiness, this is called calcium carbonate. So to this only excess of carbon dioxide is passed. So what happened? This calcium carbonate milkiness disappear on passing carbon dioxide gas in excess. This is so because of the formation of calcium bicarbonate, that is called calcium hydrogen carbonate. This is called calcium hydrogen carbonate, or it is called calcium bicarbonate. So this milkiness disappear, it becomes clear solution. So remember this also, in the milkiness, if the CO2 gas is passed in excess, then that solution becomes clear because of the formation of calcium bicarbonate. Now the next property of the acid is that acid conducts electricity. Acid conducts electricity. So for this we have to take one jar, and in this jar dilute sulfuric acid. In this jar dilute sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid is H2SO4. Okay, fine. And in this jar, 2 electrodes are also introduced. So through this electrode conducting wire, source of current is supplied. So here the battery is taken, and this battery supplies 6 volt current. Okay. So when the current is passed through this conducting wire, and in order to complete the circuit, here electrodes are there. So through this wire, here in between bulb is also connected. In place of bulb you can connect ammeter also, and the ammeter we can see the deflection of the needle. Okay, fine. So what happened? It has been observed that this bulb starts glowing. It means that through this solution, these conducting wires and the electrodes, they are carrying current. It means acid conducts current. Okay, electricity, it conducts electricity, and conduction of the electricity is because of the presence of ions. Remember this, it is because of the presence of ions.